If I ever take like a European beach vacation,
Speedos?
I'm not wearing my board shorts. I'm buying a Speedo. And I'm going to play along.
Fuck it. Get your cigarette. Put your Speedo on.
I'm going to carry my cigarettes in my Speedo.
Just on the
Just
side.
like right there.
Fuck yeah.
Flip it in.
Perpetually 420. Welcome back to
the Not Famous Tattoo Podcast. My name is Dray.
I'm Josh.
Josh over here. We're hosting the show for you. Episode 11 we are at now. And man, I feel like we got a really good one for you guys today. Just exploring how art can, or how it does historically, and how it can like bring people together. Unify. And I feel like we all need some unification lately.
Yep.
But I mean, as long as we've had the planet with people on it, there's been conflict and things like that.
It's human nature. We're tribal.
Yeah.
And then I was such a random note I just thought of, but I was always like, if there's aliens out there and they're looking down on us, they're like, don't worry about them. They're still in the like us versus them.
We don't need to bother.
Tribal like borders.
They'll handle themselves.
Yeah. I'm like, they're not an advanced organism yet.
No, we're getting they might be giggling from their spaceships. Like,
but yeah, dude. We could just kick it off with what have you learned about the world we live in being a tattoo artist?
I feel like a lot, man. It's I think it's one of my favorite parts of the job is getting to work with everyday people from all different backgrounds, walks of life, beliefs, religious beliefs, political, whatever. And, it's, I don't know, it's just super interesting. Like, what's your 2 cents on that?
Honestly, dude, I mean, I completely agree. I don't think I ever tattoo someone where I'm like, that person is just like that other person,
Right.
I was telling you earlier, a big reason I got into tattooing was because I was painting and got really bored being alone all the time. And I was like, I don't feel like my purpose on earth is to sit in a room and paint paintings, even if they're like controversial and they make people think and it may inspire people. Like, that's all cool, but I think we're put on earth to like talk to each other and have community, and being able to sit and talk with people is like the coolest gift.
Like, I don't think I could ever do a private studio. That'd be the same as you sitting in a painting studio by yourself.
Like, at least you have the client to sit and talk with, but still it's stale.
Yeah. But even then, like, the dynamic between you, myself, and Katie every day is like, we're all fairly aligned people with stuff, but like we do have our differences,
different angles,
and we do have different angles at which we think about and approach things sometimes.
For sure.
And it's nice, man, to come in here and like
fresh perspective.
I could talk about a problem I'm dealing with or facing or whatever, and get a fresh perspective. And like,
and mine is different than Katie's. And different from your clients.
Yep.
We all may like look similar or whatever, or may have similar political or religious, but like you're still going to get a very different response from different people.
Oh, 100%. And like to your point earlier, I've had clients come in here that, just by interactions with them before, or maybe even interactions over the phone, or they come in dressed a certain way.
Right.
And you're like, oh, this person's going to be textbook, blah, 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 blah. And
they surprise you.
You spend 3 hours with them. Yeah. And you're like, they leave and you're like,
I'm a fucking asshole.
Man, I'm an asshole. Like they were kind of like what I said they were going to be like, but also like I learned today, they're a human fucking being with emotions and
their own problems
and their own problems. And they were raised, and that's a good point. Like, what's the old phrase? Like, we're a product of our environment. And if
I believe so,
if you take 2 people from completely different backgrounds, and therefore because of that, they have completely different outlooks and viewpoints and political preferences and religion and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you swapped them at birth.
Like that whole wife swap thing.
Yeah. And then you went back where they were like, now Tom was raised this way versus that way.
Right.
Same for the other guy. And then very likely they're going to be who they both were before you went back in time and did the swap.
Yeah, 100%. And especially if you're from an environment where it has really strong cultural aspects, you know, like, I mean, living in LA, there's like a culture in LA, and New Orleans, there's a culture, New York City, like, obviously these are all melting pots, they're big cities, you get a lot of this and that, but at the same time, like, there is an overall culture of the city, you know. Denver, we have our culture, we're outdoorsy, we're, you know.
Right. Well, and speaking of, that's a great word, culture, right? Like, when you look through history, art is very reflective of the individual cultures that are pumping that art out. So like, this culture has a certain type of traditional attire they wear, especially if they're doing ceremonies or anything like that. And whether that's
like Native American
or Japanese or, you know, Indian or English or whatever, they all have their different, even fucking cowboys, right? Like, we all have our different ways that we like to celebrate and mourn and do the things we do. And the art in those communities, and again, the art, when I say the art, I'm talking about, yes, the art, but I'm talking about the music and the theater and the fashion and all the things that go with creating a culture. Food is huge. And all that stuff unifies that culture.
Right.
They all are down with it and they all love it.
It's like a representation.
And they're in it, you know, like, just like you said about Denver, like, so many people out here drive their Subarus and they got their trekking poles and they go hiking and climbing and rafting and whatever they do.
But it doesn't mean that you don't have ranchers and trucks and stuff that live 15 miles out east from here, you know?
Yep. So there's a lot of cross culture in probably most states, I would imagine.
Yeah. And we're so young. America's a very young country, still trying to like find ourselves.
Right. And I don't think we'll ever be at a point where we can morph into one culture.
Fuck no.
Just because of the history and the lineage of our country. We're a melting pot.
Yeah.
But I think culturally, the arts culturally do create a little empathy and interest in other cultures, and
for sure,
you can kind of get them to know a little bit better that way.
It's funny, like, I hated math growing up. It just like wasn't my thing. I was way more into like science and writing and other PE. But one of my math teachers always told me the beauty of math is it's like a language, and just because, say, you're from China and I'm from Switzerland, calculus is calculus. At the end of the day, we can both do it. And we may have our different approach to a certain equation, but it's a universal language. And then once I got into like middle school and started playing classical music, classical guitar, I realized that was another world language, that you could be from Japan and I could be from Iceland. Notes are notes. You know what I mean? So like, I can give you a sheet for the Fertili or Beethoven, and we can both, you got your piano, I got my guitar. We don't need to know each other's languages to like compose this song together.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, a lot of the classic stuff can transcend cultures almost. And
like, I feel like there are bands in the world where the drummer may not speak the same language as the front man or woman, you know, and it doesn't matter. That guy's not here to sing or talk. They're there to do a beat, or, you know,
yeah.
drum.
They're there to do a job.
And they're fucking good at it. So they're good.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're in the back room and this person's eating some food from their culture and they're like, what is that? And you're like, try this. It's, you know, blah, blah, blah. And now all of a sudden you're like, fuck, man, I love this food. Maybe get you on a flight to go to that country and learn a little bit more about that culture and eat more of that food. And it's kind of beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It is beautiful. Like, if you think about it too, like, tattooing is almost like that.
It is.
Like that, if you have like Japanese traditional, that's obviously
it is what it is.
There's a culture there, right? And like, especially if you are an artist that's in America, but you go apprentice over there, or you travel over there a bunch to learn and observe what you can do, what you can. and American traditional, right? That's our own internal culture here.
Which like was born, as we spoke of, from English going to Japan, and then our soldiers going to England and starting to cross blend and pollinate.
Right.
And then form.
And this is where we kind of stepping into a world of maybe like, where is the line between like culture and like stereotyping?
Right.
You know, like,
and almost like appropriation and stealing.
Yeah. Like if you assume like all realism artists are like painters and classically trained painters, and
you're like, you do portraits, so you must be Chicano, like,
or that black and like gray, that. You know, whatever. Like, no. Yeah. So then, you know, where's that? Like, you know, I mean, that's true, dude.
But like, I think that's like the internet, man. I think like as great as the internet is, it's like been this bridge for the world, right, to communicate all of a sudden. But it happens so fast that I don't know if we like were able to evolve. We were like the same for thousands of years. Like, you couldn't communicate with someone across the world, and unless you had been to wherever, you wouldn't know like a ton about the culture. You'd read books, whatever, but it just, now all of a sudden it's like you have access to every single culture in the world by a click of a button. What you think their culture is what's shown to you online, which we know the internet is not always a real representation of a person or a culture.
Not at all. And even on social media, if you come across a post from someone in Russia and it's in Russian, see translation.
Yeah, right.
It's one click away, and now you can understand what that person's saying. And there's probably a little good there, there's a little bad there.
I was just going to say, and the fucked up part about that is some of these languages don't, like Hebrew, for example, like, it's a very ancient language that doesn't directly translate to modern English. And so like there are words in Hebrew that we don't have words in English to represent that word. And it's like misrepresented. And that, but now we have a comment section where we can throw our opinion, and it's like unleashing madness because we're all a little bit misunderstood, I think.
That's a good point. Like, it's almost like the internet is potentially like the fucking problem.
I was going to say like our greatest asset and greatest downfall.
Like, you know, I mean, I don't know. There was world wars before we had internet for sure. But like, and who knows, like maybe the internet could be a tool where we can understand these cultures and we don't go to war with them.
Right. Yeah.
But maybe the internet is also like causing interactions that normally naturally wouldn't happen.
Right.
And maybe it's better that they didn't happen.
It's like that keyboard warrior thing where like it's really easy to say something mean and offensive to someone on the internet because there's not a lot of like consequences to that. But like if someone walks in the shop today and thinks way differently than us and we just like unleash our opinions on them, like, I mean, no one's stopping you from punching me in the face. I know it's not the right thing to do, but like you choose your words accordingly when you're like in face to face with your adversary or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's like when you're a little kid and your parents are taking you to see like grandma's house in like some small ass town, but you live in like LA with your mom and dad, and you're like, this can be some back ass words, country shit. And you go there and you're like, oh wow, they have like Atari too. Like,
yeah, right.
It's not that different.
Yeah, like, oh, they have like a playground also.
Got a color TV.
That's like all I'm really into at this point in life. Oh wait, there's a basketball hoop. Cool. I'm good.
They got cars and working bathrooms. This is wild.
I wasn't told that when we lived. No, yeah, our perception is really fucked up.
You always think that the place where you're not from is like not doing it right or different or whatever.
And like
it may be a little bit different.
I think that's tattooing.
Oh yeah.
Sorry to cut you off.
No.
How cool would it have been to like tattoo in like the 70s or 80s when like Pan Am and like international flights started happening, and you know you're in a shop in New York or wherever, and one of your coworkers like flies to Japan and does like a 3-month stay and brings back all these books and like art and all this shit.
Right.
And you're just like, oh my god, like we always thought this is how the Japanese did it, but we never really knew because we didn't have someone actually in there to tell us.
Right. There's no real precursor.
Right.
Like there is now.
You just had your perception of what you thought it was based on TV or what. I don't.
Yeah, I mean now, like because of the internet and every pretty much, I don't want to say every culture, but I would say 95% of
someone represents them online.
Are represented online, and you can, with Google and Google Maps, like you can see the fucking street where your hotel's at you're gonna stay in.
Yeah,
whereas there's like less surprises, right? Like, imagine flying to Japan in the 70s when all you had was whatever your travel agent was telling you. Seriously. Or what you saw on like National Geographic.
And then you land there and don't speak the language.
Yeah.
And you just gotta like figure it out.
Yeah. But you would be like, whoa, oh, that's crazy. Oh, I didn't know they had those. Oh, this is wild. Whereas now you're like, yep, cherry blossoms.
I saw that
everywhere. Yep.
Online. But I think that's where like our perception sometimes can be skewed because you're not always seeing the full picture of. I think it's really easy to relate this to like people's posts on Instagram. Like we don't like only 10% of influencers or even less like post the bad things in their life or their struggles or their insecurities or whatever, like it's not real. And so how much of like your phone can you really take to the bank? It's not like super, you're getting bits and pieces. It's like those classic stories of the girl on the street corner, like with the purse and the guy's actually trying to help her, but it looks like he's trying to rob her. From this perspective, she's getting robbed. From this perspective, she's getting saved. And I try to take the internet with a grain of salt and just be like, this is what I think is going on, but
do for sure.
I don't know what to believe.
What's crazy lately, and when I say lately, I would say like I've noticed it within the past year with AI being so heavily involved on like social media. And you and I have talked about this several times in the past where you can't believe anything anymore. Like
even like courtrooms, I don't know if
no.
Is video evidence still video evidence? I don't know.
Posting like this about that guy and that about this guy and like,
and it's like them speaking, but it's AI.
But it's AI and like you literally like, how are you going to unify a world when
6 billion
there's
people.
just lies going on everywhere about people and like different cultures and this guy, this leader's doing this shit when he's not even doing it.
Right.
And this leader's, he's doing that shit.
But it's painted in a different picture.
He's not doing that shit. Or, like painting an incorrect picture is like.
Well, and there's a lot of manipulation to drive money, I think. And like, I've really sat in the boat of like money rules the world. And wherever the money's at, that's where the lies and the focus and the distraction.
Greed.
Yeah, like it's just, I think everything's profit driven. So I have to like question things that I see online because I'm like, who's profiting off of this? Like, what's the deeper meaning? And
right.
And we are going to speak about like philosophy. And I think going back to just diversity within tattooing, it's like, you got to like question these things. And we all take philosophy in school, not because it's going to make us money one day, because we're not all going to grow up to be philosophers, write in our journals about the questions of the universe,
wear a lot of robes,
or be a philosophy professor. Like that's 0.001% of the population that
live on a mountaintop.
But it's like those core foundations of like, why am I this? Is it because I was taught that? Is it because I actually believe that? Is it because my parents told me this? Like, you got to like ask yourself those questions. And I think with your phone, you got to ask the post that question too, to like really know. Even if it's someone just posting food, the best slice of pizza ever. It's like, is it the best slice of pizza ever? Or are they just saying that to get me in the door? Like,
right.
That's a very basic,
it's hard
like, to grade example, but it gets deep.
Yeah. It gets. Did you mean it gets deep dish?
Yeah. Chicago. From Chicago.
From Chi-Town. I had a good quote that I had in my notes here that I thought was kind of cool. Um, Art creates culture, culture creates community, and community creates humanity.
I like that. And
So
I think
it's like it's all linked
it
together.
is. And I wanted another quote to tie that into, because I think it's a good thing to talk about, is like, just because you are blank doesn't mean you are blank, or if does not equal then. So like, just because you're a painterly tattoo artist doesn't mean you don't do trad or whatever, just because I'm a white guy doesn't mean whatever, so
Right,
like,
right,
I think that's something that we really learn as tattoo artists, sitting with cultures from all walks of life, is we're starting to see, I don't think the internet paints it, it's all about stereotypes, but we get to see on a daily basis through art that
You can't judge a book
it's so crazy, man.
at all.
I've been flabbergasted, like, something we see a lot in the industry. We got the older generation, the newer generation, we got styles that clash, and people kind of judging other artists for
sure.
You do fine line, like, you must be just like into anime, and you're soft and you don't know a hard day's work, or and
Right. You like long walks on the beach.
sorry to, like, that's not what I think about your shit. I'm just going off the internet right now.
Then we are so sorry. We're not really that sorry. But like you're right. Like,
or you're trad, you must ride a motorcycle.
Different styles or schools of tattoo artists have different stereotypes, and it creates like conflict.
Yeah,
almost. For
like, sure. Or at least judgment.
Yeah.
And like, you kind of see like shops starting to forge themselves, and like, I think the most beautiful shop is like, this guy does trad, they do realism, they're fine line, they're into anime, they're into sports, rather than, oh, we all do trad and we all ride motorcycles. Like,
right.
But even if that's the case, they're all different.
They're all different because they're different people. They were raised different. Like, they all wound up in the same spot, but they didn't come from the same spot. Is the key to remember, right?
And like, I mean, you have tattoos. Mom lives in Oklahoma City, a place that tattoos aren't super accepted. Like, people may swerve you on the street a little bit.
People will lock doors in their cars when I walk by, or a lot of whispers and a lot of fingers pointing, but I think it's because like tattooing has not been legal there for very long, and I'm a little like an anomaly there. There's not a lot of heavily tattooed people walking around Oklahoma, and I get there's a little judgment because of that, I think.
And I think that's where you got to just work a little harder, in my opinion. Like, I know what I look like, and to a suburban person, I may make them a little more uncomfortable. So like, when I walk by them at the grocery store, I make sure to like say hi or excuse me or be polite, just to try to like help the stereotype of people that look like us.
All be ambassadors to our lifestyle here, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, like in my neighborhood, it's a bunch of just suburbanites, just normal folk, and like,
and we're in Colorado,
and I stand out
pretty predominantly,
pretty good,
pretty white.
And, it's like, but I do, I think I'm a pretty friendly person just in general, but I just try to be very nice to people and accommodating, and like try to bash through any stereotypical bullshit and walls that they might be putting up based on what they see.
I love it, man. I'm in the same boat. I think we also like have the opportunity to educate people, and sometimes like I'll be at like weddings with like tons of people from tons of different walks of life, say in a foreign country even, and some people will see my tattoos and like, I got some shitty tats, but I got some nice ones, and they'll be like, wow, I didn't even, we're talking about people who are 7 years old that like have never seen a good realism tat, and they're like, oh my gosh, like these colors are so bright, like I didn't know, I thought only like criminals had tattoos and whatever, and like tattoo artists are able to make how much now, and just it's like, it's an opportunity to explain who we are, what we do. Like, and how it's changed, and it's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's just a regular thing now. It's like, and based on the people thinking you're a criminal, like you can thank Hollywood for that. Like,
yeah, you were
almost every movie you see, like the bad guys got tattoos for sure.
Yeah. And maybe going back to like driving stereotypes with like the internet and stuff, like maybe Hollywood is kind of to blame a little bit for like
Oh yeah,
driving stereotypes home, like almost beating it to the point where it's like, all right, we get it, dude. Like the hippies always got dreads and the blunt in the mouth. Like I know hippies in Boulder that like are so misrepresented in Hollywood. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
Hollywood has this image of like what a hippie or whatever,
yeah.
looks
Well, and
like.
there's always those people that like buck those stereotypes, right? Like I knew this guy back in the day that was a old Boulder hippie dude, serious rock climber. And that's all he did was like climb rocks, drink beer, smoke a little pot every now and again. But homie loved golf. Like he watched it every time it was on TV. He watched.
It's random.
He never played golf.
He just loved
but
it.
He could tell you anything you need to know about it.
Damn.
He watched every match or tournament and like
just loved
golf. Like there was many times I'm like, hey dude, you going climbing on Saturday? He's like, nah man, the fucking golf tournament's on. I'm watching that. And I'm like, you don't even play golf. And he's like, I know, but I love watching it. It's great.
All right, dude. Hell yeah.
So you never know.
I love that shit, dude. And I mean, in sports also, I think is a form of art. I mean, just like, I'm not going to go into it, but I believe that sports are like a form of physical art in a sense, the way the body moves. The way
and there's certainly a form of cultural expression.
Just like fighting, even like taekwondo, karate.
Yeah.
It's an art form. It's martial arts, right?
Yep. Well,
but it brings people together.
It brings people, sports for
That's
sure.
what I wanted to say.
Hugely
all
brings
different
people
walks.
And it's like we talked about earlier, like with large sporting events, large concert, like musical concert.
Fuck yeah.
Stuff like that. You've got like 10 to 40,000 people in the audience, in the stands, in the whatever. And there's no way that like, there's not literally every culture, every walk of life, every political belief in those stands represented. And they are all right at that moment, 100% aligned on cheering for their team or
singing that song,
singing their favorite song that artist that they love is now performing live. And like, I mean, what a way to really bring different people from all over the world and different backgrounds, like unifying them, like truly.
Yeah, man. No, I think it's beautiful. I think that's like one of the coolest things I've always loved about like music and sports is like just being on teams and stuff. It's you go to your friends' houses after the game or whatever, and you're like, whoa, dude, you live like way different than me, and you're eating some different food you've like never even heard of, and depending on wherever you're at,
right?
It's just, I don't know, it's cool to like bond over something that's like so simple as putting a ball through a net or some color on a canvas.
Yeah.
It is.
And then there's stereotyping with sports too. Like a lot of people find out that I'm from Oklahoma, but I don't like football. It's like they're like, what
doesn't make sense.
Were you dropped as a child? What's wrong with you? Like my whole family loves football, and they always have, and I'm just like I don't care for it.
You'd rather ride a bike,
or like if the hockey team from Mexico wins the Stanley Cup,
right? We're all like, what
the hell?
Fuck?
Or like people getting like, what the fuck? If like the Canadian hockey team is not doing well.
Right.
Like you guys are in Canada. There's ice fucking everywhere. It's a stereotype.
It is a stereotype. And it's like, you know what? The world has gotten to the point where like most places can access most things. And it only takes 17 people to make a hockey team.
Right.
At the end of the day, if you got 5 million people plus, or fuck that, if you got 50, 200 million people in your country, you can form damn near any team.
40,000 square foot refrigerator, you're good to go.
Right. And same with tattooing. Like some of the world's best tattoo artists who are like, I just want to get on to like inspiration and how art inspires and different cultures doing different things inspires like
And brings
what
them
we
together.
got going on. Yeah. And so like you got people that are literally 20 years behind in technology, possibly in like Africa or whatever. But you got people in like the most first world cities. Look at New York City and LA right now doing like a lot of this black work and stuff. That's like one of the most old styles in tattooing. That's like tribal almost.
That's what I call it, modern tribal.
Right. And I mean, and that's, it would be like ignorant to deny that that's not where it came from.
Right.
It's not a new thing. It's not cool because you use a shovel to do a tattoo. Like, I mean, it is cool and I love black work, but I'm not going to pretend like we don't know exactly where that came from.
Yeah, you're just reinventing the wheel. I mean, it's the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's like,
and it works. And this is like
the importance of, in 10 years, it may not be better looking.
No. I mean, it, to me, it's good looking because it forms the body well and it's dark. So I'm like, it ain't going anywhere. But it could be trendy.
Trendy, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was going with that. Like, you know, back in the 90s and the late 80s when people were getting tribal sleeves, they were like, this is sick, bro. And then they went, like, after they got to the tribal sleeve, they went out for beers with their homies and they're like, bro, it's fucking sick. And now they're like,
can I cover this? Yes, because that is an interesting form of tattoo.
Now they're like, bro, how to say you're stuck in the 90s without saying you're stuck in the 90s.
Right.
I don't want to knock people at tribal sleeves, but I'm saying
some have really cool ones, man. It's just, the stereotype is real.
Yeah.
It's real. Doesn't mean you're a type of person if you are tribal, but yeah, it's a fad.
Yeah. Well, and we talked about how a lot of things arts can unify us, you know, like there's also a lot of ways that arts can kind of like split us apart.
Look at like Banksy or Obey, people that are highly politically driven artists. That I think that's beautiful though, honestly. Like even if I don't agree with whoever in whatever piece, like art is here to inspire and make you think. That's it, in my opinion. Like if I don't feel something looking at your tattoo, your painting, your whatever, like you failed, in my opinion.
No, I've always heard
you know what I mean?
The whole point of art is to evoke emotion.
Right.
And if you're not doing that, then you're not doing that. And you're not really doing your job. Now, I think a lot of things like you talked about Banksy and stuff like that. Yes, those artists are very like politically charged and they're controversial. And there is potentially some division there between people when they feel a certain way when they look at those paintings or whatever. But it could create some unity because it also, I feel like, invokes conversation.
Yeah.
Right? Between two different backgrounds of people.
Yeah.
Like, well, I hate that painting. Well, I love it because it supports my side of this, whatever. And then they're like, well, what makes you love it? And they can tell them that. And then this person that's like early on offended by this painting because it didn't really back their, now they can see like, I get it.
They have a point.
I can understand what they're trying to do. And like,
whether
it's not different than what I'm trying to do. It's just a little bit other side of the fence, but we're still both trying to do something.
And the point of the painting was to spark a conversation.
Right.
It's really not to be sold necessarily.
Yeah.
Half of Banksy's works, like he makes and he knows they're going to get scrubbed, or he knows like the one he did that was at auction that like got shredded the second after it got sold. Like, so it's like, this is more a conversation piece because it's like, it's charged to just, I don't know how else to say, but like have a conversation. So like you don't agree with what's going on with this piece, but we can both agree that we both feel something from this and that it needs to be addressed. Right.
Yeah, I think that's a great way that art can, it's almost like it does both, right? Like art can push away and it can unify. I guess that would be up to the way it's received. by the different people if they're
For
willing
sure.
to talk about it and discuss or not.
But, and I think like something that we won't like go too hard on, but like just because I disagree with the painting or whatever doesn't mean I need to go destroy that painting. Like I've been seeing people starting to get charged for like throwing the soap or the tomato on these, and they're getting like jail sentences now, and half the internet's very divided on like they don't deserve jail, they didn't do anything. And it's like, I mean, it's $100 million object. Let's just be objective about it. It's priceless.
And you just vandalized
the
it.
person's dead who made it, can't be recreated, and you vandalized it. Like or oh, I don't agree with Banksy and I hate the way he spray paints in my town. Do I kill him? Like
no. No.
Like,
well, to the point of vandalizing
that
$100,000 paintings, like you're gonna do jail time if you vandalize a fucking Ferrari or whatever.
Right,
like,
right.
Or a building.
I was gonna say, I mean, if I go throw a brick through Walmart's front door today because I don't like Walmart, which I don't.
Right.
But like, I'm not out here like.
I mean, they're gonna recheck your receipt if you do that for sure.
Seeking revenge on Ann Walton. Where the fuck's this girl at? Like, she's just a person, dude. I mean, I don't fucking like her, but like, not she doesn't. Yeah.
Right. If you don't like her, then don't go.
She can keep breathing. I'm just not going to give her money.
Don't go to Walmart. Yeah.
I'll drive the extra mile.
Go to.
Well, she enjoys life on her friggin' yacht. One of them.
One of them.
Maybe she'll buy a painting.
Maybe she'll buy it.
Oh, fuck, dude. But yeah, I mean, so just to get back a little bit, like, I prefer to be in a shop. We talked about it the other day. I was like, I really hope that I never find myself in rooms where everyone like thinks the way I think and wants to make the same art or has the same political or food. Like, I love finding like new food, new music, new fashion, dude, you name it. I don't give a fuck. If it's cool, and I want to know about it. And
yeah.
I can't find that shit if I'm in a room with a bunch of people that think exactly the same way as me.
Yeah, so, years ago, for my first time, I went to an Ethiopian restaurant. You ever been to one of these?
No.
Well,
down though.
If you absolutely have to eat with a fork, bring one. Because like I go to this Ethiopian restaurant. It was with a girl I was dating at the time, and we go in there and they sit us down or whatever, and we order like an appetizer. They bring that out, and then when the waitress comes by later after you like
receive your
4 minutes after you get your food, and she's like, "Is everything okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, can we get some we get some silverware? We didn't get any utensils." And she's like, "We don't have any." And I'm like, "What do you?" But it's a restaurant, and everything that you order is served with this sponge bread. It's like super thin and like sponge. It feels and looks like a sponge.
Okay,
like a 1/4 inch thick sponge, and it's like
a pita,
like a square, but like super soft. And you peel part of it off the way, and the server was telling me this. And then you pinch the food in the sponge bread and eat it.
Nice.
So they don't actually use forks, knives, spoons.
That actually, it's funny. My next door neighbor, my sophomore year at CU Denver, was Saudi Arabian. Nassar was his name. And he invited Nate, Sean, and I over to eat dinner with him and his friends one night. And we were like, yeah, of course, man. And everything he did was way different. Like, we both smoked weed. But he would like put it all in a metal bowl and like put tobacco in it and like cut it up with scissors in the bowl and like had this really specific way of rolling his joints. And we would show him how we did it with our grinders and it was just crazy to like see us doing the same thing, but it was different. So I knew like this night was going to be a little like different because it just culturally we are very different, but we share a living room wall. And so we go over there and we're like, dude, these guys are cooking. Like, they got 3 full chickens in the oven, a bucket of rice like I've never seen before. Like, it was like a lobster pot, but like way fucking bigger. 4 burners on the stove are cooking this pot. And then they had a big like plastic sheet on the ground. And I was like, in no furniture, just pillows. And I'm like, I don't really know what's going on. I'm 19 years old from Boulder, like cultured, but not like crazy.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, they're like, you guys ready to eat? And we're like, hell yeah. And so just dumps the bucket on the middle of the living room floor on this like drop sheet. And then they grab all the birds and put them around. And then they cut all these lemons in half and put them around. And they're like, sit down. And we're like, all right, cool. And then they're just like, all right, eat. And we're just same. Silverware, napkin, plate.
Can I get a fork?
Nothing. All right. So I'm sitting there just kind of like being polite. And next thing I know, dudes are like, man, they're grabbing like just shredding the chicken, grabbing big scoops. And they show me how to like ball it and like throw it in their mouth essentially. Like there's a whole style of like how I'm watching 5 different styles of how to eat the food.
Rice with
this
the chicken in
doing it. Yeah, they're like dripping the lemon all over it, and they're just. And I was like, "Whoa, this is cool." So, anyways, like it was just, I'll never forget that meal and those people and like inviting us in and showing us like an authentic night to what probably looks like many nights of theirs growing up, but it's just something we'd never seen, and it was a great meal. At first, Sean was kind of like sitting there, like, sorry, bro. He was just like, I don't know about this, dude. Like, it's kind of dirty, you know? Like, I don't want to eat with my hands. Yeah, you know, Sean. He's just like,
well, and
I don't know if he had been out of the country yet at that point. It was just like, dude, I'm like, just eat the food. Don't, like, these are our neighbors, dog. Don't offend them right now.
Now, did they have, here's a question for you. Did they only eat like that when they were having traditional?
I think that was like a gathering
food. Like, did he have like?
He did have like plates and silverware,
and spoons.
Yeah. So they would eat because we like became friends at that point. We'd be
like sometimes they go get takeout, from like Taco Bell or whatever.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And I mean, and they really liked like American food too. I mean, they were like in America, dude. The Saudi Arabian government would like pay for their house, pay for their school. These guys all drove like crazy cars and shit, and like their government just like paid for everything. I'm assuming they were like higher up in their society or whatever, but so they were really well off, and they wouldn't even like go to school. They're just like here to experience America. I think that's what the like program was paying for, was essentially they're like, half of these classes don't even like transfer to our universities. We're literally just here to like soak up American culture. And so they did, and I mean they loved it. They couldn't get enough of like concerts and burgers and french fries and fucking chicken wings and just football. Like they'd come watch football on our couch and ask a million questions, and then we watch cricket with them and stuff and ask a million questions.
Yeah.
But it was fucking great.
I think the world would be a better place if like everybody could be kind of like you and your neighbors were, where you're not hating other people for their culture and the differences there, but you're interested in it and you want to explore it and learn it and live it, and like,
dude, imagine,
almost amazed by it, and like,
oh, I was.
It's like in wonder, right? Like going to Disneyland or whatever. It's like, oh, this is fucking sweet, you know?
Dude, I found myself with a metal bowl and a really nice pair of scissors, and I'm chopping my weed up just like them, because I'm like, this is way more efficient, and they've been doing this for like thousands of years. We're on our like modern USA,
right?
Gunked up grinders and stuff,
and they're
like,
literally eating
just like just ripping it.
That's crazy. And the way they're eating their dinner is like goes against everything your mom and dad ever told you. Like, don't play with your food. Don't use your fucking
dude.
fork.
We're barefoot, crossfoot, almost touching toes.
Oh yeah, mom and dad are like, no.
This is feet on the table. Like, wait. But you're right. And dude, think had we been like taught, I don't know like how racism really happens. I don't know if you're taught it or what, or if it just happens, but like had we been closed-minded, let's say, not even racist, but closed-minded, like that, I wouldn't even know that person's name right now. And I've had 100 neighbors in my life in multiple states and multiple cities, and like that was the most memorable year of my entire life, as far as just like learning, experiencing, and just I never knew what was going to happen when Nasser knocked on our front door, and like what we were going to get into, because it was just, they knew all these cutty places in the city that, like, because, you know, when you come to a new country, like, people from China find Chinese, like you were talking about, like Little Italy and Chinatown and things like that. Like, they want to experience America, but they also want, like, comforts of home. And so they have, like, pockets in the cities and stuff. And so these guys would bring us around and, like, show us, like, restaurants that, dude, we would never have found. And
is that something you think that is unique to America?
Definitely, man.
Because we are such a place where people do come from other countries.
I think other countries, like, try to implement things like that. Like, you'll go to, like, France and go to, like, an American bar, and it's, like, the most stereotypical, like, not America, but, like, what they would get from, like, the movies. But I think if you go to, like, Chinatown in, like, San Francisco or New York City, like, bro, it's like that. You know what I mean? Like, there isn't even English on the walls and stuff, and you're eating only imported goods and foods from people that are first gen from there. And so I think,
well, I think a lot of times in Europe, when you have those, like a British pub in France, they would just call it a British pub in France because the British people own it.
I was just going to say it's owned by Brits.
And they moved to France.
Right. Which, like, in Europe, very cross-continental or whatever you could say. Like,
that's why you can almost say Europe, right? Like,
yeah. Like,
there's a lot of cross-pollination with Italy and France and Britain and the UK.
Switzerland. And yeah, for sure. But I think that's going back to, like, America kind of struggling and finding ourselves is, like, I don't know if I'm correct, but I would argue that America is one of the first countries in the world with over 300 languages, 500 cultures, plus, you name it. I have no idea the statistics of this, but all I know is we have 100 major cities in this place. Every city's different, and within every city we have 50 to 80 cultures plus and different languages. And so to, like, navigate steering a ship and trying to get everyone, like, roughly on the same page is, we've only been at it, what did America 1776 or, you know, it's like, we haven't been doing this for very long.
Even that like reminds me of that scene in Talladega Nights when they're at the bar and John C. Reilly's like, like, America created all the foods, and the guy's like
he's like, pizza.
And he's like, pizza, Italy. French fries, those are from France.
Hamburger, Germany. He's like, just keeps going down the list. And he's like, what did we create, dude? And that's where it's like, we've going back to the whole thing, art, culture, we've adapted everywhere and kind of put a stamp on, like American traditional tattooing. It is not the traditional of the traditional. It is a rendition of something that was gathered from a different part of the world that we tried to make our own. And that's what we've done with hamburgers, French fries, pizza, music, you name it. And welcome to America, the land of just trying to,
I would say, if we
pull from different cultures and create our own.
Right. I would say if we had any part of our culture in this country that was actually, like, truly part of our culture, would be like Texas. Like cowboy shit.
Yeah. The West.
Like cowboy hats and horses
Wild
and
West.
Country music.
Which I think coexists with Native Americans, because I think it's really cool in America that, like, to be from the West, you and I are both from the West, like the Plains, and I hold strong to my Southwestern culture, where my people came from, like, England and Italy and ended up in New York. But it's cool to be from the West because, like, your ancestors, it was my grandpa wanted to make the journey.
Right.
And it took a lot to make that journey to, like, come out here in search of a better life and whatnot. And what happened was, like, a bunch of Europeans now coexisting with Native Americans, and, like, that's really, we kind of took from their culture with the turquoise and the leathers and the pottery and the rugs, and
a lot of cross-pollination there for sure.
But that, to me, is like OG American culture, is the settlers that actually coexisted with the natives versus the ones that fought them because they were with the government or whatever, eradicated them.
Yeah.
Not fought them, fucking genocided them.
Yeah.
But that's the coolest American culture, in my opinion, is Southwest, Oklahoma to Arizona.
Yeah. That almost like that Four Corners area.
Yeah.
Well, Oklahoma's not part of it, but
it's funny though, because like it almost skips Kansas, in my opinion. I look at Colorado, I look at like Oklahoma, Texas, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona as like the Wild West. Kansas, like, I don't know, man. Like, it's almost like a Utah. It's like its own fucking weird. Sorry to like be judgy, but I lived in Kansas City, so I feel like I can say that.
Dude, like, yeah, if you think about it, like if you do go like where I'm from, and I go back to visit all the time, like Oklahoma City, there's certainly a lot of cowboy hats. There's like a fair amount of like really large like Western wear retailers.
For sure.
Rodeo always came there, and like.
And it's a part of your culture.
Pickup trucks everywhere.
The Sooners.
Like, the Sooners and like.
And the Cowboys.
Like the whole thing. And like, whereas like you would drive up to, because I went to Kansas all the time.
Yeah.
If I went I-35 to go, 35 north to 70 to come to Colorado to do my climbing trips or whatever. And Kansas was just like
its own
people.
It's like just people. There were they just ended up there.
There weren't cowboys. There weren't like Asian or Latino. It was just people.
It's like they ended up there and they just like kind of stayed. And they didn't. I'm not trying to judge too hard. They worked the land. Kansas has a ton of like farming culture.
Sure, yeah,
it's more farming rather than like cowboy culture, like ranching culture. And I mean, it, like, because people always be like, Colorado is just like hippies and fucking mountain people.
Is that so?
You're good.
Okay.
And I'm like, you were just tattooing like a national championship barrel racer.
Yep.
30 minutes from the shop. We're 5 minutes from downtown Denver right now. Like,
yep.
Colorado is not, like, I was at a country show at the Ogden on Saturday night, and I mean, every single person in there was wearing boots and hats, and you can tell the difference between like someone that wears cowboy shit for fashion and someone that you just and so I'm like, there's some fucking cowboys in here. Like, we're in a packed place, but everybody's still got a bubble around them because they're just like, you ain't stepping on my shit. Like, you know what I mean? And like, respect, dude.
Dude, that's true. It's funny how like there is so much like cowboy and like culture out here, ranching and riding and all the things. When I originally moved out here for rock climbing, I was like wanting to, because I was over the cowboy shit, like,
right,
because it was everywhere in Oklahoma, and I'm like, Colorado, man, everybody's just a bunch of climbing hippies, like, it's be rad, no more cowboy shit. And I get out here, I'm like, there's as much cowboy shit out here as there is. One of my cousins, I guess he would be a second cousin, owned a big ranch in Missouri. And after I moved out here, I would get a phone call from him every year. And he's like, hey, I'm going to have a bunch of cattle at the stock show. You want to meet me down there? I'll take you to dinner or something, And I was like, oh, shit, I forgot.
Because there's like one of the biggest.
Western stock show is massive.
Massive out here. Like, and I never thought about it. It was just like, we're going to the stock show. We're going to the rodeo. Like, it was just, I like got to a point where I was like, I kind of feel bad for the animals, but I think that was the bolder teachers in me, making me feel bad about like literally my own culture. But yeah, dude, it's inspiring. Like, at the end of the day, there's a lot of people in Boulder where I grew up that don't like ranching and think it's like, in rodeos especially, they think it's animal abuse and all that. And I'm like, dude, it's its own art form, brings a lot of people together. Those cows are treated a lot better than even your cat at home. I promise you that.
Sure.
Like, it's
for sure.
You just don't know it because you never got in and asked questions and like really viewed. It's like in Yellowstone when that girl from Berkeley goes to the ranch and leaves with a new perspective, And
Sunny, isn't
that's
it?
real shit.
Yep.
You gotta indulge and get in and ask questions and be a part of shit before you judge it. And I think
like even in that those episodes, he's like, why don't you come to the ranch and hang out, and maybe you'll be able to understand my people, my way of life a little bit better.
Yeah, because it's like we throw stones at shit we don't know. Like it's really easy to like sit and judge tattooing styles, different types of artists, different food, different cultures. We're all just like, it's a they versus them society right now. I feel like, or like a we versus them. It's
oh yeah. People get
stupid.
They get
Stupid.
afraid. They get of different cultures. They get scared, and then both those being afraid and being scared, that creates ignorance. Sometimes it creates hate and like
further than stereotypes, almost like you said, hate.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think it'd be better if everybody could just kind of be interested in each other's cultures and way of life. And
I agree. Even if you don't like it, or you think you don't like it, dude, it's not bad to sit with someone for an hour and hear them.
Yeah.
And like listen. Like I feel like that's our issue right now, is even in the art world, especially the art world, is sometimes we don't listen to each other at the end of the day. It's like, I don't like that style. I don't even care, bro.
Right.
Just let's talk about something else, and it's very like closed-minded when it only takes one sentence out of 500 to be inspired. So like, listen.
Mm-hmm.
Ask the damn questions.
Well, and I think based on what we just said, everything, right? Like being a tattoo artist is kind of really cool because we have the opportunity to experience different people, cultures, backgrounds every fucking day and listen to what they have to say about it and
stories,
experience it and learn it and be interested in it.
Well, and that's the oldest form of art, and I think we can end on that is storytelling.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know someone that can tell a really good story, and like whether I agree with them or not, I like to listen to what they have to say because it's cool.
Yeah.
Like just the way it's told, and it's an art.
Well, and a lot of tattoos are telling a story.
Mm-hmm.
How many consults have you done that start with, I'm getting this piece today because I recently did this, or this person,
passed.
A while ago. Like we've all done the memorial tattoos for grandma that passed away that collected porcelain porcupines.
Right.
Now you got 5 people that want a porcelain porcupine or a duck tattoo or the copper pelican that I did on that client.
Yep. In the front yard.
Her parents had the yep. So, or her grandparents. But like, and that's
and how many? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think it's so fucking cool when like tomorrow I'm working on a piece where like the dude's from Russia. He was adopted as a baby by Americans in Idaho, and he's telling a story of his heritage on his sleeve. And he's like, I want to incorporate these statues from Russia. I want these Vietnamese flowers because he's part Vietnamese, and like bamboo and lotus and all this cool shit. But like, it's making me go learn a little bit more about Russia and Vietnam. And like, I mean, I'm not gonna like just sit down one night and like research Russian statues or Vietnamese flowers for the fuck of it, maybe. But now I like am presented this opportunity to make this guy's art really fucking beautiful and represent him. So I'm gonna go learn.
You should. That's your job, right?
In
this instance,
and it's fucking dope because now I know a little bit more about both these cultures.
There's like a lot of folk art that comes from
in Russia and Vietnam. Name 2 fucking countries historically in our recent past that we don't talk a lot about, because we don't like them or whatever. Like, fuck that. This culture's dope. I'm gonna learn about that shit and incorporate it in this art.
Yeah, it's some wild shit.
It is, man.
It's so neat to be like, and that's the other thing too. Is like when I look at other cultures, they seem so, for lack of a better term, like foreign.
I was gonna say
like the things that they do. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, when I was sitting on the ground with
You
my feet
homies
in the
don't have-
rice, I thought
You got
that
no forks in the whole house. Like
the whole house.
or that, you know, like
Not
or like,
even like, whoa.
like I remember I was at a work function dinner years ago with a bunch of when I was a sales rep, and we were at a sushi restaurant, and everybody was using their chopsticks or whatever, and this one guy was not. He was like using a fork and one of the other guys at the table was like, "Hey, bro, this is like
a little
we're from
offensive.
Japan. Like you should use the chopsticks or whatever." Like, but no, he said to him, he said, "In Japan, they use chopsticks to eat their rice or their sushi or whatever." And the guy said, "Well, but we're in America. We use forks in America." And I just thought that was a funny statement, a little bit,
Yeah, I'm like,
because like we were
touche.
we were in Utah, so like,
You ain't wrong.
but like,
But when in Rome, bro.
went in Rome, but he wasn't in Rome, but he was in,
But, you know,
but I know he
when in a Japanese
Yeah,
restaurant
yeah.
in Utah.
In Utah.
Use the goddamn.
went in a sushi
Get the
restaurant
little
in
kid
Utah.
one with the wrapper and the rubber
yeah,
band.
and the little rubber band to help the
Stab it. I don't care.
training
But
wheels
it's
of
an opportunity to learn, and now guess what? You can go look like you've been. I just don't like sitting there like with, for lack of a better word, with my dick in my hand when I can like try to blend in with the culture and be a part of it rather than the outsider. I don't want to be an outsider.
It's
man.
way more fun if you just get into it.
Like if I'm in Thailand,
Like,
I'm gonna wear some parachute pants with elephants on
Dude,
them. If
for
they say this is what's comfy because
sure.
it's humid as fuck out here, and you don't want to wear like
For
thick ass
sure.
cotton pants or
For
jeans.
sure. Like, dude, if
Doing
I
as
ever,
you guys,
if
do.
I ever take like a European beach vacation, I'm
Speedos?
not wearing my board shorts. I'm buying a Speedo, and I'm gonna play along.
Fuck it. Get your cigarette. Put your Speedo on.
I'm gonna carry
Grab
my
that
cigarettes
scotch.
in my Speedo,
Just on the
just
side.
like right there.
Fuck yeah.
Clip it in.
Yeah, blend right in. Grow that stash.
I'm gonna look awesome. Oh yeah, I'm definitely doing the stash.
And not to like try to pretend we're something we're not, but just try to be a part of what's going on.
Yeah, when I was younger, me and a bunch of friends would go to like a different type of food restaurant once a month and try to. And this was in Oklahoma, right?
Okay.
So we were like, we had Indian restaurant, sushi, Thai, whatever. And this was back it was like in the 90s. So it was like, I just feel like all these different restaurants are everywhere now. And I feel like back then they weren't as saturated or whatever. Back then, I feel like in the 90s, most of your restaurants were big box chain restaurants.
Yeah, it was like the whitewash version. PF chains.
PF chains. Like, yeah, exactly. And so we would go to the local ones we could find that were from different cultures and stuff like that. And one of the guys that went with us was like culinarily like not open, right?
Got it.
And like, I mean, everywhere we went, dude, he asked the server, "Do you have a cheeseburger?"
I thought that was coming. Yeah, that's like my grandpa.
What the fuck, dude? And like,
I'm like, dog, just order the fucking orange chicken. It's good.
Yeah.
It's a good introductory to this cuisine.
Yeah, it'll taste like a fucking hamburger.
Then we'll get you on the soup dumplings.
Like, it's crazy. I was just like, dude, why you don't want to try the fucking tandoori chicken? Like, it's good, pretty on point, you know?
It's basically fried chicken, but it's just made in a clay oven.
Yeah. That was the first place we went. It was this it was a Indian restaurant, and it was fuck, what was the name of it? Ajanta, I think. And we were all psyched to try this food and cuisine. We'd never had it before. And yeah, homie's like, the guy's like, "And for you, sir." And he's like, "You have a cheeseburger, French fries back there?" And he's like, we don't.
You could get a lam sog on like
I don't
some
know if you
fucking
saw cheeseburger anywhere in the menu.
None.
I don't think it's in there.
That's hilarious. No, we have what's in the menu, sir.
I think he had none. I think because it was like bread.
Right.
He's like, okay, I can eat bread.
I feel you.
Maybe a salad.
I mean, try new things, ask questions. Fucking
Anyway,
that's part of living.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I don't know. It's a good time to indulge in and immerse yourself in different cultures and backgrounds,
Forms of art and
all the things.
fashion.
Like, man, I think music is probably the number one art that could really like
bring it all
transcend
together.
all issues and problems and just bring it all together.
I agree,
like,
man. The question is, would you rather be blind and no longer be able to tattoo and paint, or would you rather be deaf and never hear music again? That's always the hardest question I've ever been able to
Given
answer.
what I do for a living, I'm gonna go
same. But do you know
no more
how
concerts
terrible
for me.
life would be without music, man? Fuck.
I wonder how long you might remember it.
Right. So the real question is, would you rather be born deaf or born blind? Because then you would never know.
I'd still rather see, I think.
Me too. Something about them sunrises and sunsets. But sound, man, it's crazy.
Music's fucking awesome. It makes the world go round.
Yeah, like truly, I think it's like saved my life possibly before, and it's just.
Have you ever met someone that doesn't really like music?
That's.
I have.
So that's one thing I may judge on, like for real. I'm like, you just haven't listened to enough. Like, let me get you. You know,
it's like
that shit, right?
It's like that one friend or family member you have that like every time you're in their car, it's just like.
Dog.
No radio.
You see me even when I walk in the shop, and if it's like pause or I'm like, "What's up, guys?" First thing, straight to the radio.
Yeah,
like I can't sit in a silent room.
Yeah, or you go visit them at their house, and they're just it's like quiet. Like
I can't.
You can hear the hum of the quiet, just
the
like
fridge.
Yeah.
My mom's will be like that sometimes. Like when our dog passed, I was like, "You need to get a dog. We need some noise in this house. Like, I can't come here and sit in a silent room. It fucks with me, dude."
Yeah, it was funny growing up for me. My dad was like music freak. He loved all of it. Jazz, blues, rock and roll. Like went to concerts, went to music festivals in different countries and that sort of thing. And then my mom like
couldn't care for it really.
Barely even put the radio on in the car half time, or if she did, it was like NPR or whatever.
Yeah, my mom listens to like Christian radio.
Yeah, and like it's just weird to see, especially with my mom. I'm like, I mean, she goes to concerts and stuff. She's better about it now, I think. But anyway, I always thought that was weird. People that just are not super musically.
I don't get it. I'm like, it is probably food and music are like my two favorite things on earth.
I love food
and ladies. All right, guys. On that note, we don't have any shout outs this week, so if you want, send us some stuff, send us some work to look at. We'd love to shout you out, say where you're from, what you do, whether it's fashion, food, art, tattooing, painting.
Let's just generally sewing. Let's generally shout out. Let's shout out music this week.
All right.
Shout out to music.
Shout out to music, man.
Thanks for being around. Yeah. Thanks for being a thing.
Fucking love you. Never stop.
We appreciate music.
The gift that keeps on giving.
The gift that keeps on giving. If you guys watch this podcast regularly, you'll know that my microphone mysteriously disappeared last time.
Yeah.
And we thought, oh, what an episode it chose to do that.
Fails.
Internet fails. Anyway, so that's earlier I was checking because I was like, I'm paranoid but we both did the whole thing with the bug on. That's pretty sweet.
Yes, sir. We know it went a little long today, a little different than normal. We weren't just talking about, we felt like we were inclined to say something about the state of the world and just try to put a little bit of light in life and just talk about the good things that we got going on. So yeah,
go out there, enjoy other cultures
and music.
Talk to a stranger, man.
True.
You know,
get to know their stories, dude.
and find somebody that you know that's like not on the same page with you with it, really anything, and you guys go have a beer.
Yeah.
And try to understand each other better. And I think we can bridge this gap and maybe make the world a better place.
That we all want to live in, dude.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, we don't want to live in a place that's dark and hateful and fuck that shit.
No.
All right.
Thanks again for tuning in. Like, subscribe, follow, share comment, all the good stuff.
Seriously.
Share and comments.
If you listen, share. We don't do ads or anything. We don't have a lot of views. So like it's not like we're looking to get paid. Just share.
Spread the word, as it were. All right.
Next
Love
week.
you guys. Thank you.
Peace.
Till next time.